Time for our morning cup of joe. This morning, we're going to talk about my friend Alfred Nobel of Nobel Prize fame. Nobel wasn't feeling very well, but he knew he wasn't dead. And yet he had just read his obituary, in which he was described as the merchant of death. What had happened was that a reporter had made a mistake. Actually, his brother Ludwig had died while he was on vacation, and the reporter confused the two and wrote an obituary about Nobel, describing him as the inventor of dynamite and the merchant of death. Indeed, Nobel was the inventor of dynamite. He had heard about a substance called nitroglycerin that had been first synthesized by an Italian chemist by the name of Sobrero. But the trouble was that it blew up very easily, detonated very easily. Well, Nobel wanted to find a way to make dynamite, substance that would be a mixture of nitroglycerin with something else, but that would not detonate as easily as just pure nitroglycerin. So he tried all kinds of substances to mix together with the liquid nitroglycerin and eventually discovered that a substance called diatomaceous earth, which is the skeleton of microscopic organisms found in the ocean, that this was ideal. And dynamite could be used as an explosive, but it would only explode whenever you wanted it. And he foresaw this as being very useful for mankind. He thought, in fact, it would also be a deterrent to war because both sides would know the devastation that it could cause. Well, of course, it turned out that dynamite was not a deterrent to war, but it has had a huge impact on the construction industry and indeed is a very, very useful material. However, the confusion of reading the obituary caused him a great deal of concern, and he decided that he was not going to be known as the merchant of death. He had amassed a huge fortune from the sales of dynamite, and when he read the pseudo obituary, he decided to leave all of his money to be given out in the form of Nobel Prizes because he wanted to further the study of science. So it was a reporter's mistake that really led to the Nobel Prize, which is the highest honor that any scientist can get these days. So Nobel was not a merchant of death. He was a scientist dedicated to furthering the conquest of science. That's it. We'll see you next time.